In this video, I'm going to show you how to install the CRF50 Plastics on a Razor MX500. The same applies to an MX650. The product is linked in the description below, so without further ado, let's get into the installation. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is start to take the plastics off this bike. So I'm going to go in here, take that off, take those bolts off, remove the plastics from the back. You're going to have to maintain the stock seat, the fuel tank, and the stock fasteners in order to install the CRF50 Plastics or the knockoff CRF50 Plastics. What comes in the kit is these 6 items. So you have a front fender, rear fender, side cowlings for the right and left, and the number plate. I'm going to start out with the front fender. Alright, in order to get the front fender to fit, you're going to see that it's slightly different, and I need to modify it. What I did here was use the old fender as a reference, put the nut through as a guide. Now you can see where I need to drill out. I need to drill out one large hole to clear that nut, and then oversize these 2 holes in there as the spacing slightly off. Alright, you can see I wallered out the 2 holes here. I added a larger hole to clear the nut. Now I can attach it with the long screw and nut. You'll see that it slides up here nicely, just like such. It's not pretty from the bottom, but it looks a lot better from the top. What I had to do was put the back fender on first. Slot this hole here to get it as far forward as possible. It fits nicely on the seat. Then what I did was I put on the side pieces. Lock the slots in. I had to trim this tab and then drill a hole in it so the screw looks good there. These forward tabs were to be a little desired, so what I did was I had to drill a hole and tap into that thicker part of the seat, but it all fits nicely. It looks nice on the workbench. It's going to look great on the Razor. In order to attach the plastics to the bike, you're going to retain the original fasteners. So I use these 2 same fasteners on the fuel tank here. The fuel tank goes right back how it was. You can see in here I had to use some zip ties because those bolts don't line up. I think some of the other CRF50 plastic kits, they line up a little bit better, but in the back everything lines up perfectly. You can see that the bolts line up. With regard to the number plate or placard, you can retain the original one. It does fit the best. The CRF50 plastic does work. I just used the original bolt, and what I had to do was, you could see I had to trim back the plastic fastener in order to attach to the stock fork. I did use this light. The product is linked in the description below. I liked how it was able to fit perfectly in there. It looks nice and clean and isn't obstructed by the different cords, so it's definitely super bright. I then wired it up to the top here. You can look at my other videos on how to do that. The only negative I could see to the CRF50 Plastics is if you look from behind, the right side fender is a little bit larger for the exhaust. It does look a little wonky when you're looking at it from this side, but it's not too bad. But I definitely like the look from this side. It's a lot cleaner plastics than the stock ones. And what's nice is you can get them in a variety of colors. They're linked in the description below. So overall, the plastics look great. It gives it a fresh look. So I'm happy with how it came out. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel.